God blesses everyone.
Hello, movie lovers, and welcome to episode 16 of our Christmas Carol reviews. If you have not been following with us, be sure to click the link in the description for the introduction. It'll tell you exactly how this is all working, and you can also find the other previous reviews on my channel somewhere. But let's get to this one. This is Mickey's Christmas Carol, released in 1983. Now, before we get into this, I must tell you, this was the first ever adaptation of A Christmas Carol that I saw. I was raised on Disney films. I was raised as a Disney fanatic. I really enjoy everything. I still do. So this one was really special to watch, but I have noticed that while doing these reviews, I'm watching this adaptation that I'm so used to, and I have a different light on it. I saw a few things that were a little bit off. But the first thing, before we get into anything, I have to say, unlike some of the previous reviews where they brought other characters, such as the Rich Little one, that was a couple episodes back, this one really followed both the book and capturing the essence of the characters. I thought the couple extra things thrown in didn't take away from the story. And while it wasn't in the book, it didn't take away from it or take it away from the actual story we were going for. And I really thought that adaptation with Disney was done very, very well, because we got the different beloved Disney characters in this story as well. So first off, let's get to the main character. Ebenezer Scrooge is played by Scrooge McDuck. First off, how can you get the character wrong when you are literally named after this character? It was great. 3 out of 5 following the book. Couple things here and there were a little bit different, but he really captured the essence of Scrooge, how evil he was, how he only cared about money. One of the running gags in all of it that went through not just the opening scene, but also the past and the present, was Scrooge would be in like the thousands, I think it was 5,000s, of counting coins and stacking them up, and then all of a sudden something happened, they fall over and you have to start over again. Once again, that was just a little shtick that kept coming back. I thought it was very well done. But bad Scrooge, not caring about the poor, caring all about himself, making sure that he put himself first. Really well done and portrayed there. 8 out of 10 on that one. And good Scrooge. This is the first one that I found since we saw Alastair Sims back in 1951, where they played both good and bad Scrooge equally as well. In fact, if you take these numbers, it actually follows and has the exact same rating, an 80%. A 4 out of 5 on good Scrooge. And the transformation, you really got to see his hurt of losing Tiny Tim, and he actually looked like he empathized with Bob Cratchit, played by Mickey Mouse, by the way, and that character, and really you saw the transformation. And then it took some aspects, like from Scrooge in 1970, of him being shoved into the grave and everything. It did take some of those as well. But anyway, let's move on. We get to the Ghost of Marley, played by none other than Goofy. Yes, played by Goofy. So you have his yucks thrown in there. You have all of that. He really followed the character to a T with the lines. The only thing that was added in was he tripped over a cane and he fell over, and then he fell down some stairs at the end. That's really all that they added. But the one thing they took out was a couple of the lines about the indigestion, so I had to knock it a little bit of that. So 3 out of 5 following the book. But the interpretation, like I said, it didn't take anything away from the story. It actually did very well. So a 7 out of 10 on that one. So a 10 out of 15 for Goofy as Marley. Then we get to the Ghost of Christmas Past. And the one thing I love about the Ghost, all 3 of them, with this adaptation, is how they were not necessarily the main characters in their story, but big characters in Disney lore. Like for the Ghost of Christmas Past, you have Jiminy Cricket, obviously from the movie Pinocchio. Okay, sings probably what has become Disney's most famous and theme song, When You Wish Upon a Star. And it's right here. He does everything. The one thing that I didn't like about the Ghost of Christmas Past was the way that they interpreted Belle. First off, the whole story was about Fezziwig and Belle. It didn't go over his childhood and everything. But when they did that and you got the breakup, there was no remorse of Belle leaving. In fact, there was so little remorse, and in fact, no remorse at all, that they had a part where he literally foreclosed on her house. And it just didn't, that's the one thing, it just didn't capture the whole transformation of Scrooge, why he hated Christmas, and why, you know, he was that way because of that loss. And I thought that was the one thing they probably dropped the ball on a little bit. But anyway, true to the book, with the missing parts, it had to lose little points. So 3 out of 5 being true to the book, and 6 out of 10 on the interpretation, just because of that one scene just kind of wasn't very good. Then we get to the Ghost of Christmas Present. And the Ghost of Christmas Present is supposed to be a giant. So, well, who did they bring? They bring the resident giant, Willie, who became popular in Mickey and the Beanstalk. And he is absolutely giant. And he actually stays giant the whole time. They have the shtick with the eye opening the curtain. He was sitting on everything. It was very well done animation-wise and everything. But it only went to Cratchit's house. Like, it went to Cratchit's house live. And I know they had to cut a lot. It's only a 30-minute special, which is actually, you know, a good length for a short like this. But they had to cut a lot of it out. And so they only talked about the Cratchits and everything there. So I had to lose a little bit from the book once again. 3 out of 5 on that. But I really enjoyed the interpretation. I thought seeing Scrooge and his reaction to Tiny Tim and everything that was there, 7 out of 10 on that one, giving the Ghost of Christmas Present a 10 out of 10. Then we have the Ghost of Christmas Yet to Come. First off, you didn't have anything mentioned of Old Joe. You didn't have anybody from the exchange. You didn't have the guy on the bed. You did obviously see that Tiny Tim passed away, but the whole future-esque thing happened during in the graveyard. Okay, the Ghost of Christmas Present shows up in the graveyard, and everything happens there. You see the Cratchits at the gravesite of Tim, mourning his loss and everything. And then you also, while they didn't have the guys from the exchange, they had gravediggers, which were weasels at the time. They were talking about how no one cared about this character or anything. And you go over there, and it was, while it wasn't like the book, it was actually very well done. It caught everything. The no remorse for this guy who's passed, the remorse for Tiny Tim, everything. It really captured the essence of it while completely changing the story. Okay, so I had to give it a 2 out of 5, just out of fairness for it not being true to the book. But the interpretation I thought was very, very well done, an 8 out of 10. Okay, cinematography, it's Disney. It followed the Disney cinematography, everything. 8 out of 10 on that one. Costumes and makeup, like I said, this was an interpretation, did a great job of mixing in the Disney character traits, including in the costumes, and also mixing in the Victorian English and that style costumes as well. So 7 out of 10 on that one. And then the music, very well done. Okay, there wasn't songs in this one, but there was good music that really told the story. And you should be able to tell a story that well when your name is Disney. So a 7 out of 10 on the music. Okay, guys, that was our Mickey Christmas Carol review from 1983. Like I said, this was the first adaptation I ever saw as a child when I was very young. I was probably 2 or 3, so I remember growing up with this. But like I said, just a really good interpretation. Very, very well done. So really, you need to check this out. So be sure to stay tuned for episode 17. Thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. God bless all of you, and that's a wrap.